there's no problem with that. The communication is out there, it's clear.
Okay.
That the only reason why the report is not out is because the police is still doing some work.
Okay.
And I do not want to, that's what we all know. But the point is that Pius is not guilty, the board chairman is not guilty, somebody is not guilty of all the allegations made. But is it possible some other people were guilty, and so on and so forth? Maybe these were the issues that the police are still following up.
Okay.
I do not want to sound preemptive of the report because I haven't seen the report.
Okay.
But the communication from the presidency, which I heard, is that the police is still following up on some leads, and that at the proper time an announcement will be made. Well, I'm not aware of that press statement.
Okay.
It has been brought to my notice.
Okay.
I'm not aware of it. What I know, however, is that we did not, as a ministry, we did not take journalists to Australia. We did not take supporters to Australia. We did not.
Okay.
And so whatever decision that we are taking cannot be because of what happened in Australia. We did not take journalists to Australia. We did not take supporters to Australia. Well, I'm here to support the policy direction of the Honourable Minister, and I stand firmly behind the Minister in his attempt to restructure the footballing environment in Ghana. It has become problematic, and if you may, the straw that broke the camel's back being ANAS's number 12.
Yeah.
And a determination was made that drastic action needed to be taken to restore confidence in our game and to win back credibility for our sports. And that has my total support. Once we are at it, I think that we as a ministry are open for discussions, and people can offer constructive criticism and also make proposals on the way forward. Also seize the opportunity to say that this situation of match fixing, bribery in sports, in football, is not something that as a ministry we were unconcerned about or we did nothing about. We were very concerned. The minister was concerned. And I recall that as far back as November of last year, the Honourable Minister had reason to ask me, instruct me to write to the BNI to investigate allegations of corruption and match fixing. Yes, and I did. Even before the NAS in November last year.
Wow.
And so we
and
ourselves.
This was involving a local game?
Yes, the local game. We wanted an investigation of the league and how the matches were being played. And we wrote a letter instructing the BNI because they have the proper capacity and authority to investigate. They have the know-how. I may not know how to do some of these secret videoing and all that. I don't have that competence. And so the minister instructed and we wrote. And we were waiting for the evidence. And we were going to also take drastic action. So far, the action that you described is what has been happening. It started, honestly, in my absence when I was still on suspension. But ever since I have come, my unalloyed support is for the minister's position. Whilst at the same time, I believe that even the minister is open to hear what other proposals people have.
Some of your friends were implicated in the video. How do you feel about that? Have you spoken with them?
Well, I have.
Shocked by some of the content of it.
I have, I do not want to get into that just yet.
Okay.
Questions of method, questions of intent have been raised. The people you spoke about, when I speak to them, they have, these are their concerns. I haven't fully interrogated that matter yet. What I know is that Anas normally would do a good job, and so that's what I'm relying on. But that is not to say that people have not raised questions of method, they haven't raised questions of intent, and so on and so forth. So let's see how it pans out.
Before we go, is it true that you have a problem with Mr. Anonymous as the GOC president?
No, it's not. I don't. Ben and I are good friends. We are Catholics, and we even pray together. Okay. I mean, so I do not know, and we speak on the phone. It's a human institution. I was chairman of the IGC. I was a major stakeholder in the IGC. Yes, did we have differences? Yes, we had differences at the meeting. But I mean, at the end of the day, decisions were taken, and we moved on.
Finally, before we go, sir, I hear you have a very huge constituency in your you have a huge fan base in your constituency in the Volta region, and it's the reason Nana Akufo-Addo reinstated because he was going there. Do you have political ambitions in terms of becoming maybe
president,
vice president? Is that in the
No. I do not. I believe that God fashions out our future. We live by faith, trusting that He who is the ultimate schemer of things would determine our future. And so I do not plan my future. I leave it in the hands of God to take care of. So I do not have any such presidential ambitions. Yes, do I want to grow in politics? Yes. I want to grow in politics. Do I have people in politics I admire? Yes, the president is my greatest mentor, and I God willing, would love to become like him. But I mean, that doesn't determine anything that I do. I do admit that we do have quite a following in the Volta region and in Esojamine. That's my other constituency, but that is not it. If that were the case, then we'll be suggesting that is why the police did the investigation that way. The only reason why the president made the announcement he made was because of the report of the police. Trust you me, if the report had indicted me, the president was not going to bring me back, irrespective of my popularity in the Volta region. If the report had indicted me, I am too sure I wasn't going to come back. Okay, the only reason why I was brought back is because I was exonerated after the investigations. I'd heard these comments, but around the same time, I was just suspended. There were other colleagues in government who were not just suspended, but were dismissed. The CEO of Kolibu, for instance, Dr. Anya, is a major pillar from the Volta region, and another CEO, my sister from the Ghana Investment Promotion, no, not the investment, Ghana Export Promotion Council, Honorable Gifty Clenham, another major force from the Volta. They were actually, as it were, dismissed just around the same time the president was going into the Volta region. Okay. So it couldn't be a political decision.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with the Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports, Mr. Pius Enam Hajide. Today is opened up for the very first time about the issues that happened in Australia during the Commonwealth Games that Ghana participated in. He's also been speaking about his relationship with the GOC president, with his boss, and what the ministry is doing to develop the game in football. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the pleasure of your company. We're back same time next